Most people think about heaven or hell as a destination. Most believe it is the final stop on a long road, thinking the choices we make for ourselves are the only things that matter. I agree with that idea, but only in part. I have come to see that there is something more, something bigger than just our own personal journey. I believe our lives are not lived in isolation. Our paths cross with others for a reason. What if our own salvation is tied to how we help others find their way? What if the road to heaven is not just about saving ourselves, but about reaching out to those who are lost beside us? My father taught me this, though not always with words. He showed me that our lives can become a bridge for someone else. He showed me that one person's faith can help another person find their own. His life was a testament to this truth. He lived in a way that seemed strange to many. He did not chase wealth or comfort. He did not seek recognition or praise. Instead, he walked a much harder path. He chose to live among the forgotten and the broken. His choices made me question everything I thought I knew about faith, purpose, and what it means to live a good life. He was a simple man in a complicated world. He didn't have a grand plan to change society. He just saw the person in front of him. He saw their hunger, their pain, their loneliness. My dad was a master carpenter. His hands, though often rough and calloused, could create beautiful things from simple pieces of wood. He could build a sturdy table or a delicate frame with equal skill. He had a gift for seeing the potential in a raw plank, for shaping it into something useful and strong. In the same way, he was a student of the Bible. He was incredibly smart, though he never boasted about it. He would spend hours poring over the scriptures, his worn Bible a landscape of notes and colors. He marked verses with red pens and yellow highlighters, underlining passages that spoke to him, connecting ideas from one book to another. He would go through intense periods of study. For months, he would wake up before the sun to read and pray. His Bible would be open on our small kitchen table, a testament to his search for truth. Then, just as suddenly, he would stop. The book would close, and he might not open it for years. During those times, he wrestled with his own demons. He was not a perfect man. He had his struggles, his moments of weakness. Yet, even when the Bible was closed, his faith never truly left him. It was woven into the very fabric of his being, a quiet but constant presence in his life. We never had much money. My dad didn't own a house. He didn't have a nice car to call his own. He chose a life of simplicity that I found baffling as a child. He had skills that could have earned him a comfortable living, but he seemed uninterested in material wealth. I remember several evenings very clearly. Our cupboards nearly bare. We would have only a few cans of green beans or soup on the shelf. Whether it be a knock on our door or a phone call from a friend of a friend or stranger, someone my dad had met on the street, it didn't matter. Without a moment of hesitation, my dad would go to the cupboard, take that last can, and give it away. He didn't think twice. He didn't worry about what we would eat the next day. He simply trusted that God would provide for us, just as he was providing for those people. In the eyes of the world, we were poor, but we never, ever went hungry. That was the essence of his faith. This was not a rare event. It was the pattern of his life. He saw need, and he met it with whatever he had. Sometimes it was a plate of food. Sometimes it was a few dollars from his pocket, money he needed for himself. Other times it was the coat off his own back. He believed that everything he had was a gift from God, and it was meant to be shared. He lived by the principle that you cannot outgive God. The more he gave away, the more seemed to appear, often in unexpected ways. A neighbor would drop off groceries, or a small, forgotten debt would be repaid. I watched my dad talk to so many people over the years. He was not afraid to go where others would not. He would walk into smoky bars and crowded homeless shelters. For a long time, I didn't see that God was using my dad in spite of his flaws. I thought his poverty was an obstacle. I thought his struggles were an obstacle. Now, I see it differently. I think God used him on purpose, precisely as he was. Maybe God placed him in those specific circumstances among those specific people because he was the only one who could reach them. A man in a suit, driving a fancy car. and standing at an altar every Sunday preaching to people who already believe. Could never have connected with the people my dad knew. They would have seen him as an outsider, someone who could not possibly understand their lives. But they saw my dad as one of them. He was a kind of prophet, though he would have never used that word. He did not stand on a stage with a microphone. He stood on street corners. He stood in soup kitchens. He delivered his message not through powerful oratory. He delivered it through quiet conversations. He delivered it through acts of service. God gave him the courage to walk into those dark places. God gave him the right words to speak at the right moments. His lack of worldly success was not a sign of failure. It was a key part of his ministry. It showed everyone he met that faith was not about being perfect. It showed it was not about being prosperous. It showed that faith was about being present. It showed that faith was about being loving. I used to be angry about the suffering I saw in the world. I once thought that when good people suffer, it must be a punishment from God. Think about the people you meet in your everyday life. What do you do when you pass the town drunk? The one who mumbles to himself on the park bench, who chooses alcohol over his job and family? Do you look away with a sense of shame? Do you look away with a sense of annoyance? Or do you see a person created in God's image? Maybe invite him to share a meal? Ask to hear his story and invite him to church? What about the town drug addict who wears the same worn-out clothes every single day? Do you turn away and gossip about her? Or find a gentle way to give her a clean shirt? Tell her that she is valued and loved and invite her to church? Small acts can open a door to a person's heart, and those type of actions could lead you to helping a lost soul find their way. Or you would run across another Tom Ritchie and realize it was you that needed him. Jesus gave us the perfect example. He told us to show mercy. He didn't just talk about it, he lived it. He sat with sinners, he ate with them. He touched the sick, he touched the unclean, offering healing when others offered only rejection. He spoke to the lonely, he spoke to the outcast, giving them a sense of belonging. My dad, in his own humble and imperfect way, did the same. He was not a saint. He had his faults. He had his weaknesses, but he made a choice to love people exactly where they were. Through him, I learned that heaven or hell might not just be a personal outcome. It might be a collective one. Perhaps the question God asks is not only, "Did you find me?" but also, "Who did you bring with you?" Did you help someone else see the light when they were surrounded by darkness? Did you offer a hand to someone who had fallen? Did you share the hope that was given to you? My dad's life was a long and beautiful answer to these questions. He spent his days helping others find the path that he himself was walking, one quiet step at a time. A God who spoke through a humble carpenter to help others find a new path. Our choices create ripples that we may never fully see. They can change the eternal destination of someone else. My dad did not live for himself. He did not build a kingdom on earth. He lived to help other people find the light in their own darkness. He understood that his purpose was not to save his own soul. He understood that his purpose was to be a signpost pointing others toward home. Perhaps the road to heaven or hell is not a solitary journey after all. Maybe it is about how we walk alongside others, helping them find their way. And that maybe some of God's greatest works are done through the simple and loving hands of ordinary people.